Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Drink While You Think. There's been some changes here. But first of all, I'm Kenji.
I'm Matthew. I'm Matthew with a haircut.
I was going to say that's a big change. You have a haircut. I clearly do not. Mine is still just completely out of control.
It's the little things, man.
You got a haircut.
I'm in an open Georgia and you're in a closed Florida. Florida's pretty open, I think, too.
Florida's pretty open, but yeah, you can stay here with some family and enjoying the sunshine. It's really, really hot sunshine now, so it's good to be a little bit in cover, but it's nice to have the lake and the pool. Change of scenery matters a ton, so that's been awesome.
Vacation at some point.
Have you figured anything out for vacation yet?
No, we're talking about doing the antibody test, make sure, because before we go see the grandparents and all that crap.
Is that available for anybody to do?
We haven't done all the research, but there's a lot of false negatives with it, or a lot of false positives. Like it tells you have the antibodies a fourth of the time when you don't.
Yeah.
So Ivy said we should all do it, and that way we all would have to have false positives, which they statistically determined unlikely. So.
Interesting. I saw you were about to crack open. We're changing up the episode a little bit. We had some friends joining us. One in particular, we'll give a shout out to my buddy Tab Burkhalter. He wanted us to have a drink. He's at his mom's memorial service, so definitely gonna have a drink for you, our friend. We'll have Tab you back on here, buddy, and some of these other folks. So we'll go solo today. We'll go a quick one today. But what are you drinking? I'm drinking the good old classic. Can you see that? Oops.
Now you're back. You have cruddy lighting. A little Dos Equis. I almost did something similar.
That's a great kind of hot weather drinking beer.
I have some of my favorite beer upstairs. I got some Soul delivered, but I'm gonna go with. I'm still working off the kit Gerard sent me, so I've got the Great
White. Oh, it's the full kit. There's a whole variety of beers.
There was 6 of them, so I'm just working them through. There's a bunch of IPAs though, so other people might beat me to those.
Give this to me.
Well, yeah.
We could have known it was just you and me. We could have gone to my second beer that I brewed that I left with you, but we'll wait for that. I've already had a little sampling of it, but cheers, dude.
Cheers.
How's yours?
It's okay. I kind of like that.
It's dark on me there. See if I can get my lighting fixed a little bit. Sorry.
It's all right. You go in and out with that. I don't know what your lighting's doing, dude.
I know. It's just too much sunshine. What am I going to do? Too much sunshine. It's a little bit better.
There you go.
This is one of those beers you just feel like in a hot, like at the beach, by the pool, you could probably drink about 1 million of these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the Soul better, but that's a good substitute. So,
couple things I thought was interesting this week. Did you see the class action lawsuit that's being filed against a bunch of the banks around these agent fees?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Let me tell you about that real quick, but it's interesting. So attorneys have gone and filed a class action lawsuit against, I think about 5,000 of the banks, I think gave out the PPP loan. And technically the CARES Act lists that there are agent fees available, I think up to 5% or something like this. It's
on the small one.
And what's supposed to happen is it says the banks would pay for these agent fees. Now, agent fees typically are somebody who ends up bringing the loan to the bank or helps prepare it, which a lot of accountants did. So in fact, a lot of accountants are kind of in there. So these attorneys are asking accountants to sign up and say, hey, do you help do this for free and not get paid? Join the class action lawsuit. So anyway, it's kind of an interesting point about whether or not these agent fees are going to apply, because I think only a handful of small banks said they're willing to pay these agent fees. Everyone else has said, no, we're not paying them. So accountants are going to get sucked into this to go help possibly get agents fees. I guess my question would be around this. First of all, what kind of chance do you think they've got of this class action lawsuit going through? You throwing bottle caps at
I throw bottle caps at kids that aren't being quiet during video.
Yeah. And then I wonder how many people have gone and actually, accounting firms have charged for doing PPP application work. I don't know. What's your take? What's your take on this whole whether or not that people should
But
acquire? You know,
my experience with class action lawsuits is the only people that make money are the plaintiff attorneys. So like nobody really makes any money out of those. There'll be some kind of settlement where we get to, even if you join it, you get like some coupon to work with Bank of America in the future for 12 cents or something. I don't know.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, those are, I don't know.
yeah. I think there's some of them are claiming right now that, oh no, they're going to end up doing this, and all the fees that you deserve you're going to get, and which they're trying to get again. I think the issue is you need, for every person individual sued, you need to have an individual on the other side of it. So they need to get essentially 5,000 accountants to sign up for this, to go after every individual bank. There's got to be at least a 1-to-1 for each of these. So they're hitting some of the accounting firms pretty hard right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have like 50 of them covered probably if we set up. So.
What have you heard most accountants have done from the standpoint of charging for assistance on the application or not?
I don't think that's not even in the conversation with the accountants I've had. Everybody's too worried about helping people. I'm sure people, this week and especially people do monthly billing are looking back going, what should I bill? In hindsight, I don't know. That's a big challenge. It's just a weird time right now to bill people.
It is. I think it's. I mean, you can talk about our stance a bit. I think part of this, we want to give other firm owners ideas and thoughts of what we're doing. We were pretty good about, let's just help people out, right, on the application. I think we're thinking about forgiveness a little bit differently, right? Because now you've got the funding. In many cases, this is the largest amount of funding anyone's received, and it's been instrumental. So there is capital available to certainly to make payroll, but that should free up other capital for them to be able to help with those who help them get the forgiveness calc. And I think in orders of magnitude, it looks like the forgiveness calculation is a more challenging, time-intensive effort than is the actual PPP application. Do you think that's a fair way to look at it?
I think so. But I think people with good relationships, probably it felt pretty seamless, even during the application process. Because I know people that were helping people log into banks and, help them out there.
Yeah.
Most people are pretty good about fees and stuff like that, and being fair with, you help me, I understand this is a relationship. So
yeah. Well, you can do what happens. I mean, I guess they always say during these times, right, the lawyers pop up and this lawsuits, and this is the stuff that, meeting frenzies. But interesting that this one is really, really targeted toward, I think Accounting Today has already had an article out about it because they are really trying to get accountants on their side to go after them.
But there'll be a bunch of attorneys too, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Attorneys, I don't know that they necessarily work well together. I've never seen attorneys represent other attorneys in class action lawsuits.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about since PPP is what people want to hear about, thoughts around some of the new, sounds like
24 weeks instead of 8. That's a deal.
Yeah, it is longer than I thought they were going to give. Thought they were going to double it, but
remember the
still got to get through.
Hasn't done anything yet. Right?
Exactly. Yep. Senate's got to get through Senate. So.
Well, their House is, I guess getting through the House is its own nightmare. Got through the House pretty. I think one person voted against it.
Really?
So you would think the Senate would be able to get on board with it because you got that many people in the House to agree, and the House can't agree. So I can't remember how many senators we got to get, but it's not that many.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
hopefully it's okay.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Also, the other change was, I think, going from 75% of costs have to go to payroll now down to 60%. That's what I saw. So that, again, a lot of people, I think that is helpful in my opinion, because
I think, for the occupancy-based businesses, that's a big deal because you can pay your rent for 6 months until you can bring your people back and they can participate. It kind of ham and eggs better with the other programs because then people can do the unemployment, and people stop doing this. Like so many people are trying to construct ways to make sure that they take care of their people where they have to lower their salaries in some states by enough to where they can get unemployment, the federal unemployment, so they have to hit certain state thresholds to get unemployment. And, as opposed to just, it's just crazy. but I mean, businesses are trying to be scrappy for their people in general. So
yeah,
it's,
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's I mean, some of these moves are making are good. I think again around occupancy-based businesses, those who literally you couldn't conduct business. I mean, again, in some states still, some people are not able to conduct business. So for them, letting that clock run in a different manner from a different time period, I think is helpful. And two, allowing a little more latitude about how the loan is used is helpful to those businesses. Some of those businesses just can't open. So if you can't open, the loan doesn't really help that much right now.
right. So, and I haven't looked at the House version because I'm just not in the habit of reading them until both groups passed because I got so frustrated originally. Yeah. But I think there's something to do with that you can choose when to start your 8-week clock also, or there's just more.
That's correct. Yeah. I think
so that's really helpful for occupancy-based businesses that they can wait until they're open and really open to do that. So I think there's still some limitations on it, but from what I've read, but I haven't read those.
That's correct. Yeah, the Senate bill is in form very, very similar to the House bill, but yeah, that aspect of being able to start that clock to when there are actual business expenses that can be used, that actually can be, the funding can go toward. So it'll certainly be interesting. I think one thing that jumped out to me that I found interesting was in looking at more of the forgiveness guidance, the fact that it's a pretty long tail on the amount of time that people have to keep this documentation in place, 6 years, and normal IRS guidelines are 3 years. Outside of fraud, there's a lot of other situations to where if it's fraud or gross negligence, the IRS can come back. But typically, going 6 years is a little bit on the longer side we've seen. So it seems to be a strong indication that they are saying, yeah, we're trying to go fast. There's probably going to be some things we're going to miss a little bit, but we're giving ourselves a lot of latitude if we need to. We find issues to come back into this for up to 6 years. So we're really advising clients and other small businesses, do your documentation work, show a level of care, keep stuff stored. Don't just slap numbers into the forgiveness application. Take the time, do it right, and then have the backup and support and keep it there, because we could see a higher level of review on these than we've seen historically. Yep. So interesting stuff.
Never dull.
Never dull. What else you got for us this week? Anything else you got on your end?
No, I've been, I am, if anybody's watching, I am very interested in custom masks that are more breathable and comfy for, I'm starting to worry about tailgating. So if you have any tips on buying masks, I'm about to buy the Atlanta Falcon tailgate masks for our crew. So I was thinking about doing that. I've been looking at, but I can't tell which ones are hoaxes and which ones aren't. Everybody's buying ads on Facebook. So
did I hear that? At least I heard from some Texan friends that I think they're talking about opening up stadiums, but they have to be open air stadiums. There's been some talk about some of the newer stadiums, and those count, right? You can take the dome off, the roof off, or for us in Atlanta, that little opening comes up, or in Jerry World out in Dallas, which apparently that one never opens up. Very rarely does that one ever open up. But are those going to count as open air stadiums? Because I mean, to be candid, it's hard to have those things feel like it's truly open air, like versus being in some of the old school stadiums where it's truly open. So,
well, I mean, there's lots of space. I mean, I don't. That's not like a cube farm, So I don't know, but you are screaming and yelling in your close proximity, but it's not mass outbreaks.
You need, okay, let me put it this way.
I need the Falcons.
Anybody who sits next to Matthew May, they're gonna have to have a special rule for Matthew, because most people can be 6 feet away. The way that you scream and yell at Falcons games, they're gonna need like 20 feet. Like there's gonna need to be a Matthew section.
Yep.
It's gonna be difficult for you. I mean, can you imagine? Okay, imagine this: if you had to go to a football game, you couldn't scream or yell, and you couldn't hug or high five people. Would it be worth going still?
I don't know. That's gonna be rough. I'm getting used to it around here. Like nobody touches anybody, and everybody stays a lot far away from each other. Yeah. We got the chicken coop going, so we've got like this commune feel, but everybody stays a little far away from all the neighbors. So should be.
We'll just have to come together, hang out with your chickens. I'll bring my beer over. All our little things we're doing during COVID here right now.
It's the little things that get you through, man.
It's the little things that get you through. So we'll keep it as a short one this week. Let me pull up. Let's do our ratings as usual. If I can find
Lost Coast Brewery. If you're
okay, give me a second here to get us switched over.
Yeah, I still can't get used to that.
So Lost Coast.
Great White.
There it is, Great White.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I'm gonna give it a solid 4.
So it's a wheat beer. Do you like solid 4? That's solid. You like wheat beer?
Well, I like
in general.
Like the white ales. That's what I was tasting. I guess the wheat in it, but it has a nice finish.
Well, I'll let you know that so on batch number 3 of beer is going to be a wheat beer. So you may like that. I, of course, with the good old Dos Equis lager, I am staying thirsty. I'm trying to grow up look like the most interesting man in the world. It's hard to give Dos Equis like a 4, but like it's just a good solid in the 3s. Like right now, like it's hot and it feels like a great beer to be drinking. I'm gonna give it a good 3.5. I know that's higher than I probably would, but like time and place kind of matters when you're kind of consuming this.
Man. Oh, I mean, when we drank our Coronas, time and place mattered. We gave them like the zeros on the Coronas.
Yeah, you and John Bly
did.
did.
Rough on Coronas. We probably need to go back. It'd be nice to.
We probably do. We probably do. But we're getting up to a good number of beers there now. I mean, we've got our let's see our personal stats if it shows us anything interesting.
What is that like for?
Why does someone say 5 beers?
It must be in the time period.
Oh, time period. We do it longer. Well, we don't want to run people through all this, but we still would like people to come follow us on Untappd. We still only have one friend on here. So come give us some ideas, recommendations. Next week, I'll do a little teaser and we'll end at this. Next week, we got a beer expert joining us, a guy who does breweries and accounting. He was the CFO of a great local brewery in Atlanta in the Southeast. So we're going to have him on. So we're going to have a real expert.
Is he going to hook us up with beers beforehand?
Probably be difficult. I'm all the way down here in Florida still till next week. But
I'm in Atlanta though.
He's hooked us up before with a lot of good beers. But we'll.
Monday night?
What's that?
Monday night stuff.
Monday night stuff, man. Gotta love it. But
I love it.
Anyway, well, cool, man. Hey, I highly recommend you thinking about your trip. Change a little bit of change of latitude, as Jimmy Buffett says, makes a big difference. Get on it, Mr. May. We'll do another one of these from next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
And we'll see everyone later. Don't forget to subscribe.
Somewhere.
And we'll see you next time.